Good evening and welcome to the Scottsdale Historic Preservation Commission remote public meeting. The purpose of the Historic Preservation Commission, in part, is to establish standards necessary to preserve the historic character of resources designated historic, develop, maintain, and from time to time amend plans for the preservation of resources of historic significance in the city, and review proposed alterations to historic and archaeological resources through the Certificate of Appropriateness process. Until further notice, meetings will be held electronically and remotely. While physical facilities are not open to the public, meetings are televised on Cox Cable, Channel 11, and streamed online at scottsdaleaz.gov. Do a search for live stream. To allow the public to listen, view the meeting in progress. Only written comments submitted electronically are being accepted. To be considered, please submit your written public comment on an agenda item at least 1 hour before the meeting's scheduled time. The agenda consists of the roll call, the administrative report, minutes approval of the prior meeting, regular agenda, non-action agenda items, during which no vote will be taken by the commission. I remind our audience that the review relates to historic preservation matters and does not include consideration of existing zoning district designations, zoning entitlements, or the allowed uses within the zoning districts. The commission's motion may be to approve with modified stipulations, to deny the request, or to continue the case. Thank you for your interest and time. Now we will begin the meeting with the roll call.
Thank you, Chair Schweiger. Chair Schweiger.
Oh, sorry, I'm here.
Vice Chair Buzello absent. Commissioner Brousseau.
Present.
Commissioner Davis. Absent. Commissioner Fadock. Absent. Commissioner Hosmer.
Present.
Commissioner Kinchen.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. The first action of the commission will be the administrative report by Steve Vanker.
Thank you, Chair Schweiger and commissioners. We don't have any new information regarding tonight's case, but I do want to give you an update on an item that the commission considered a couple of years ago. There was a proposal to reduce or eliminate the application fee for AHP overlay zoning district. Through the budget process this past year, the City Council approved the elimination of the application fee for the HP zoning overlay district, and that will go into effect in January of 2021. So that's some significant progress. I've been able to share that with a couple of applicants who are considering historic property zoning, and they're excited to be able to make an application at no cost. So we look forward to seeing some more applications in that regard. That concludes my comments tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Venker. The next action item of the commission will be the approval of the meeting minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes by any of the commissioner members present? Seeing none, at this time, I will entertain a motion. Do one of the commissioners wish to make a motion on the approval of the minutes?
Commissioner Hosmer was absent at the last meeting, so I'm refraining.
Commissioner Hosmer, if I may clarify, the fact that you are absent doesn't mean that you should not vote on minutes. You're simply reviewing and approving the minutes. So if you would vote, that would be helpful.
Thank you, Commissioner Hosmer. Then for that, I will make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from August 6, 2020.
Thank you, Commissioner Hosmer. Do I have a second? Commissioner Kinchin?
This is Commissioner Kinchin, and I will second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we do a roll call for all in favor?
Chair Schweiger,
Yes.
Commissioner Brousseau,
Yes.
Commissioner Hosmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Kinchin.
Yes.
Thank you.
At this time, we move into regular agenda item 2HP 2017, number 3, Moran Townhouse Driveway Pavers.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Jeff Barnes with the City's Planning Department, presenting for you the Moran Townhouse Driveway Pavers request. Next slide, please. So this site is located within the Villa Monterey Unit 4 development. We are looking at a site located south of Chaparral, east of Miller. Next slide, please, will bring us a little bit closer. So here's the site on the west side of 76th Place. Moving to the next slide, the property carries the R4 HP zoning designation, as do those surrounding it within that development. Next slide, please. So the request before you today is regarding an approval of a certificate of appropriateness for historic resources regarding the replacement of the existing concrete and gravel driveway at the property with a paver driveway. Next slide, please. And in this slide is an image of the current driveway condition out there with the concrete strips and the gravel in between. The proposal would be to remove those and replace with paver the relative full width of the carport area. Next slide, please. This site plan highlights that driveway location relative to the front yard and the existing carport. Identified on the site plan is a new addition area that is the scope of a separate application and approval and not under your consideration today. Next slide, please. And with these, we've been bringing forward a survey of the, I'll say, non-standard driveways, alternative material driveways within the Villa Monterey area. This slide is just representing the most current inventory of those relative to the similar approvals issued by the Commission at the previous meetings this year. And I believe that is the completeness of staff's presentation tonight on the request. The applicant is also, I believe, on the line if you did have any additional questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes. Are there any questions or commentary from the commission? Mr. Hosmer?
Yes, this is Commissioner Hosmer. I had a couple of questions, Mr. Barnes. One is, were these stripes, the wheel stripes of concrete, original to Villa Monterey, or is this something that was done post-construction?
Jeff Barnes here. I do know that they appear in multiple properties throughout this area, but I may ask if Steve Benker is aware of the historical element to them as far as original construction goes.
This is Steve Venker. Commissioner Hosmer, I don't know that we've ever done that kind of research in aerial photograph review that I've done over the years. Our aerials go back to 1969, and these strip driveway types show up occasionally on some of the townhouses. So I have to believe that they were part of the original construction and layout for the site. Thank you.
Okay, I have another question. This is Commissioner Hosmer again. Thanks for the response. I just think it's a unique style because the grass would have run continuous on either side of that. I'm not contesting or the removal of them. I was just curious about that for informational purposes. I did have a question about the detail for the pavers at the property line and at the opposite side, the finished edge. Because obviously there's gravel right there between the two properties, and whatever that homeowner decides to do when they come in to repave, there would need to be at least a grouted edge detail for that. In addition to that, there's a note number 1 on the applicant's comments about this, and it says resurface and fill in the driveway. And I wondered if you meant to say resurface or if it was just purely just putting in pavers. And then the last comment I have is that historically we have a pattern that's required so that they aren't done in a stack bond kind of appearance. And I didn't see that in the applicant's material. Thank you.
Commissioner Hosner, if you looked in the packet that was with the agenda, there are images in there.
This is Commissioner Hosmer again. What I remember seeing, unless I missed it, was a Bellegarde paver brochure. Thank you.
Ms. Moran, can you speak to which kind of pavers you will have?
Ms. Moran, this is Steve Venker. You might need to unmute yourself.
I think she may have accidentally exited.
This is Brian IT. She's been hopping on and off. I think she might be having some technical issues.
Oh, there she is. Ms. Moran, we see you're back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you. So can
Okay.
you tell us about the pavers?
The pavers that are in the picture are the ones that I'm planning to use, and I can conform to any pattern that's required. I don't have a problem with that. I just want to get rid of the gravel and strip and have a more uniform drive. But I can conform to anything that you would request. Were you able to hear my statement?
Yes, we were. Thank you so much. I think we're going back to look at those pictures. There are 2 pictures with pavers. There are some that look like they're flat. The picture on there, it says Bellegarde paves the way, attachment number 6. And then the second page of that looks like rounded bricks in various shapes and sizes. with edging around them. So was it the second one that you were planning to include? Or Mr. Barnes, could you speak to that?
Excuse me, Chair Schweiger, Commissioner Hosmer has raised his hand. He might have a clarifying comment.
Yes,
Commissioner
I think we understand the applicant's intent, and it's a good intent. I think for the record, we would want to at least stipulate in writing what the pattern is, since this is kind of a generic display of it, and that the edge details would be done in a grouted fashion so that if a vehicle heavy were to drive over the edge, it wouldn't push the sand away. I think it's important that it's a grouted edge, and most reputable paver installers do that without question. It's just that we want to make sure we have control of that kind of a detail. Thank you.
Chair Schweiger, if I may,
Yes.
if the commissioners will look at page 2 of the staff report, there's a reference to a previous case, 7 HP 2019. And towards the end of that description, there's a statement that says the paver pattern shall be limited to a stacked linear pattern, not angled or cross pattern. And I believe that's what Commissioner Hosmer was referring to in his comments previously. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional comments or questions from the commission? Commissioner Hosmer, I see your hand up again.
Yes, Mr. Vanker, is color also something that's dictated to eliminate a particular bright pattern that we may want to stipulate as well? Thank you.
Chair Schweiger, Commissioner Hosmer, this is Steve Venker. I think we're satisfied with the color scheme that are illustrated in the brochure that Ms. Moran has provided. So I don't know that we have a comment other than that. I mean, maybe we could stipulate to the color that's illustrated on that brochure photograph, and we would be satisfied with that. Thank you.
This is Commissioner Hosmer. I would agree that'd be the best way to do it so that we don't have to go back with another application just to reference the lower Bellegarde illustration that would be for color and pattern. And that would make me feel better. Thank you.
Chair Schweiger, Commissioner Hosmer, this is Steve Venker. You're going to need to make a stipulation in the motion to clarify that for staff and for Ms. Moran. Thank you.
Thank you for the reminder. Last call for any questions from the commissioners. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
This is Commissioner Hosmer. I make a motion to approve 2 HP 2017 number 3 with the stipulations that the color and pattern be dictated by the second illustration from Bellegarde, and that the edge details be grouted at the perimeter of the installation. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hosmer. Do I have a second? Commissioner Kinchin?
This is Commissioner Kinchin. I will second that motion. Thank you.
At this time, we can do a roll call vote.
Chair Schweiger,
Yes.
Commissioner Brousseau,
Yes.
Commissioner Hosmer,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinchin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, we move into commissioner announcements. Are there any? I see Commissioner Hosmer. Actually, I see everyone's hands up. Commissioner Hosmer, do you have your? Nope. Commissioner Brousseau?
Yes. Hey, it's Ben Brousseau. I just wanted to give you a quick update on the goings on in the Scottsdale Garden Apartment District. We have gotten our monthly meetings back on track as of last month. We did take 3 months off during this unprecedented time. And we're going to start assembling our submission to the city of Scottsdale for the historic overlay. Very good news. We're all very excited. We've got a team of about 5 volunteers, all ambassadors from the neighborhood. And just wanted to close this with a video. You guys remember me mentioning R3 mural. After 1 year, it's finally gone up. We installed it last weekend. It's had some really, really great responses. And we just have this little recap video for our sponsors. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I'm sure you will. It's impossible to miss it if you're driving down Goldwater and 70th Street. So that's the unofficial entrance to the Garden Apartment District. And this is on the east facing wall of Park Paradise.
Are you guys able to hear it?
Hey, we can
No.
see, it's fine, we can see it. I wanted to say, well, I've got everybody's ear. Thank you so much to the city of Scottsdale. Our planning department was just great. The staff was fantastic. It was a very smooth sailing and really, I mean, we couldn't have gone any better. It was just a great experience. So thank you again, everybody at the city. Part of R3 Mural's mission is to emphasize each time we make a mural, a different element or a different innovation of reduce, reuse, recycle. The mural itself is made from 100% upcycled materials, paint from green sheen. Lamar Outdoor Advertising donates to us all the billboard vinyls. And the framing for the art piece was taken from a house that was taken down a few years ago. So that was the first one. The theme was upcycling. This year's theme is adaptive reuse. As we all know, the 18 buildings within the Garden Apartment District have been many different things, starting out with motor inns. Today we have everything from a restaurant to sober living. We have a yoga studio, several small businesses, people working from home. And so adaptive reuse is the theme for this year. So again, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Are there any other commissioner announcements? Seeing none, we'll move to, are there any requests for future agenda items?
Chair Schweiger and commissioners, this is Steve Venker. We might be having a window rehabilitation project come forward. A couple of years ago, we worked with a homeowner named Jane Burtnett. We did half of her house. She rehabilitated the windows, the steel casement windows in place, and she's putting together an application to do the rest of the house. So we're kind of excited about that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others? Okay. At this time, then we adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for attending. And I think Jackie checked off. So will someone make sure she gets to know, Miss Moran knows the results of the vote? Thank you all very much.
Thank you.